What war did you serve in?
In the Vietnam War.
Where exactly did you go?
Well, I went to Da Nang, and from Da Nang I went to Chu Lai, and from Chu Lai I went out into the villages.
Do you remember arriving and what it was like?
Yeah, I remember arriving, and it was, it was like any other military base. It just, I had to go to school before they could even send us on to our duty station. They wanted us to learn some of the language, and and that's not easy picking up a foreign language in like 2 weeks. So you just learn little bits of it.
Were you drafted or were you enlisted?
I was drafted when when they took us to Kansas City for our physical. They come in and they called out X amount of names. They said you guys are in the Navy, and then they called out more names. They said you guys are in the Air Force. Most of these guys though was enlisted, and then they called out a bunch more names. They said you guys will report to Fort Leonard Wood for the Army. And I was sitting there and I was thinking, well, they've done forgot all about me. I'm going back home. And then they called out the a few names. There wasn't very many of us left. They said, you guys are Marines. And they swore us in and took us to the airport.
How did people entertain themselves?
Oh, just really, there's no way you couldn't really entertain yourself. And when you was in Vietnam, you was either scared or bored. Most of the time, you was bored because there's nothing to do. And, and when the sun went down, then you got a little scared.
Would you recommend anybody enlisting?
I wouldn't say yay or nay. People have to make up their own mind about that.
What are a couple of your most memorable experiences?
Oh my, there was there's a few of them. I don't know. I remember one time we took a patrol out to. We had a VC guy come in and give himself up to us, and he took us back out to where his camp was, and there was a couple more VC out there. He was mad at, and he wanted to get them. So we went after him. Anyway, there was a radio. They was kind of down in this little ravine thing, and we was up on top of it. And they had a hole dug back in the bank, a deep hole, and it was kind of a tunnel-like thing. Anyway, that radio was down there, and that guy wanted that radio, and he jumped down to get that radio, and somebody in that hole started shooting, and they shot him through the foot. And I reached down and got a hold of him and yanked him back up out of that hole. And we had to finally, we medevaced him because he was shot. But we was out there in the damn jungle and a big minefield, and he led us in there, and then we had to figure out how to get back out of the minefield. It wasn't fun.